Fleming. The point is awarded to Georgian. They are going to keep things rolling here, up 4-1. Muller to serve again. Bennett puts it over the net. Now Clement serving a DiFrancesco off the fingertips of Melissa Aramini. Point goes for Georgian. Muller serve low and into the net. We'll give the ball back to the Knights here. They're awarded the point, now trailing 5-2. Sarah Gross will serve for the Knights. Ma to Clement, sets up Camerand. Vahey's there to return it over. Gross to Camerand. Fleming now has to deal with it. Trying to get the ball over the net there was Selena Roy. Bit of a miss hit. Allowed for the wall up at the Georgian front to block it right back to the Knights. They get the point. Georgian extends their lead 6-2. Dominica DiFrancesco, miss hit on the serve. Sydney Bennett now serving for the Knights. Bennett with a strong serve. It's handled by Ma. Clement comes in to set up Watson, stepping into it. Vahey got down to keep it alive, however, goes out of bounds. Georgian gets the point. Brianne Cameron serves. Gross pops it up. Days to Gross. Cameron now has to set up DiFrancesco. Gross will play it over the net for the Grizzlies, but out of bounds. Not according to the official. Stayed in. Grizzlies get the point. A couple of Knights players backed off, assuming that it was going to land out of bounds. Did not do so. Brianne Cameron now to serve back-to-back. This one a little too long, and this one definitely out of bounds. Fleming will get the ball back, down 4. Selena Roy will serve. Clement to Watson. An easy kill for Kelsey Watson. Kelsey Watson now on the serve. Ball's up over. Gross to Days. Vahey a little low and mishits it. Goes into the net. Georgian gets the point. They're up 10-4 now. A bit of a mental error there by Sarah Gross. It was going to go out of bounds, but she went for it. It went off her out of bounds, and Georgian gets the point. They're up 11-4. That'll be an ace. Kelsey Watson. Misplayed by the Melissa Aramini. Forcing Samantha Belzy, head coach, to take a timeout for the Fleming Knights. Fleming trailing 12-4 early. They'll talk things over, hoping to get on track. Is that like a father-daughter coaching duo? Okay, cool. The two teams return to the floor, and it'll be Kelsey Watson with the ball once again, serving for the Grizzlies. They lead 12-4. Serve is up. Gross plays it over. DeFrancesco to Clement. Now to Muller. Gross handles that. Now Days. It's played over there by Reynolds. Now Aramini to Days. Over to Vehi. Off the net and over. Muller to Clement, who sets it over to Amber Ma. Ma played it over the net right into Selena Roy. Bounced awkwardly off her arms and just unable to get to the ball there was Vehi. Trying to chase it as it fell, but ultimately goes to the ground. Kelsey Watson back at the serve line for the Grizzlies. This one a little bit low and into the net. Rain McCade now checking into the game for the Grizzlies. She'll take out Brianne Camerand. Meanwhile, at the service line for the Knights, number 8, Julia Reynolds. Reynolds with a good serve. Watson pops it up into the air. Clement to Muller, finding the open space on the floor, and a routine play for the Grizzlies earns them their 14th point of the set. They're up 14-5. Sophia Clement with the serve. A bullet, but a little wide and out of bounds. Knights have gotten several of their points off of Georgian errors, whether it goes into the net or out of bounds from the serve. Georgian will hope to correct that. And DeFrancesco makes an error there. It bounces off her hands, out of bounds. It seems to me like the Grizzlies are the only ones keeping the Knights in the game at this point. But the Knights fighting hard and taking advantage of some Grizzlies errors. They'll get another one here. A misstep by Sophia Clement. We'll see if Fleming can take advantage of it. Down only 6 points. Jessica Days to serve. DeFrancesco to Clement. Watson steps in. Tipped at the net, but now Days sets it to Vehi. A little long out of bounds. Georgian gets this point. Amber Ma will head to the service line. A scrambling play by the Knights. They get it over and transition to defense. And a great scramble, returning that serve, earns the points for the Knights. They did just enough to keep the ball in the air. Alexis Vehi to serve for Fleming. Clement to Camerand. Camerand with a big hit. It's returned by Fleming, and now Gross plays it over the net. Good eye by Sophia Clement, lets that one go out of bounds. Georgian gets another point, extends their lead to 7. They're up 16-9. Muller's serve, returned by Gross on the Fleming side. Watson now setting to DeFrancesco. Well hit, and it goes off the arms of Alexis Vehi, out of bounds. Georgian gets another point. Fleming forced to call a timeout. not liking where this set's going at the moment. They trail 17-9. Alyssa Moeller will get things started again. She'll serve for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies lead 17-9 as we resume from a Fleming timeout break. Kelsey Watson set up by the Knights. Ball floated over the top of the net, and that was an easy point for Watson and the Grizzlies. Now up by 9 points. Moeller to serve again. Off the arms of Selena Roy, out of bounds. Strong serve by Moeller. She'll have her third serve in a row here, upcoming. Grizzlies lead by 10. That one won't get so lucky. Just missing that back line. Alyssa Moeller was very close to an ace, however, it's called out of bounds. Knights will take over possession. Sarah Gross to serve. Down 19-10. Need to make a push late in the set. It's a nice serve, but Grizzlies will return. DiFrancesco trying to get the kill, but that one goes out of bounds. Back-to-back points for the Knights, earned off of Grizzly errors. It's been the storyline of the first set in regards to how Fleming has gotten a lot of their points. Gross with the serve. Gross on the other side pops it up. And now Cameron gets blocked to the net for the Grizzlies. They scramble to keep it alive, but 4 inches, and they give the point away to the Knights, who are right back best thing down 19-12. They're within striking distance. They have the ball. Sarah Gross to serve again. Grizzlies trying to scramble from that. Unable to do so, falls short. That's new addition Monica Lazinski with the first touch. Sarah Gross, number 10, with the serve for the Knights. Lazinski to Clement. And a little bit over the net, or a double touch by Clement is what the call will be. Another point given away to the Knights, clawing back in this thing. Gross to Clement to Cameron. Cameron plays it over, and a miscommunication between two Knights players. Ball pops into the air and out of bounds. Georgian gets a point. Gets the ball back. They're up 20-14, looking to close out this first set. Dominica DiFrancesco to serve. A good eye there by Sarah Gross on the Fleming Knights. Thought about going for it, held off at the last second, and it went over her head out of bounds. Fleming gets the point. Sydney Bennett now to serve. Watson puts it over the net. Good defense by the Grizzlies. And now Cameron plays it over. Days to Bennett. Gross pops it in the air. Clement now setting to Cameron. Well hit off a couple of Knights blockers and out of bounds. Georgian gets the point. Grizzlies being awarded a yellow card here. Much to the dislike of head coach Brad Graham in his 29th year here at Georgian. However, that's not going to reverse things. And play will go on. Brianne Cameron to serve for the Grizzlies. Up 6. Roy plays it over. Good eye by Brianne Cameron. Let that one go out of bounds. It's another point for the Grizzlies. 3 points away from closing out this first set. The serve is up. Gross did a good job returning it. However, her teammate was on the net. Point goes to the Grizzlies. Roy to Gross, back to Roy to play it over the net. Jenna Gross steps in, and now Watson gets blocked to the net. Clement now setting it far side. Lazinski did enough to get it over, but it hits the post on the net. It's called out of bounds. Knights staying in this first set, down 23-16. They'll need a stretch of points here. Selena Roy missing the mark on that one. And it'll set up Kelsey Watson and the Georgian Grizzlies for set point. And that'll be an ace to close out the first set. Well hit by Kelsey Watson, and Georgian is going to take the first set 25-16. I went to Scotland, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool, yeah. And I'd never been to Scotland, so that's one country I had to kind of check off.
You have Scottish heritage at all? Or?
No, I'm Irish. I've been to Ireland before, and it was cool to see Scotland too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been there for? 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
It was a 1 week thing. So my sister's actually doing like an exchange program. She goes to Queen's,
oh, cool.
and so she's exchanging to Strathclyde University, which is in Glasgow. So we basically took her over and dropped her off there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Came back as one less, but it was really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I go there with like my program at the end of this year, like in October, but it's all golf. So we don't really get the opportunity to see the country, whereas we went to Glasgow and we got like a rental car and we drove everywhere. And so I feel like I've seen a lot of the country, which is really cool. What about you? Not much?
No.
Well, that's kind of nice at the same time.
I slept a lot.
Yeah.
Caught up on so much sleep.
That's good, yeah. Sometimes you need that. Like, that's what I did like before I went on break. Like the first week of break for sure, I was doing nothing. Got to know my coach pretty well. Fortnite a lot. Looks like we got some recruiting going on over on that far side.
Yeah.
It's that time of the year.
Yup. Reinforced the garage door over there.
Oh, did they? Nice. That's that must have been like an HVAC job, eh? Like pretty legit.
Oh yeah.
As we prepare for the second set to get underway, it was Georgian taking care of the first set, winning 25-16. Sophia Clement with the ball, getting ready to serve for the Grizzlies. Vehi to Days, and Roy will play it over the net. A little bit low, it goes into the net. Georgian off to a hot start, up 1-0 in this second set. 1-0 on the game. Clement serve, a little wide and out of bounds. And that's something that the Grizzlies will want to fix up a little bit. They've been giving away a lot of points. Knights able to score 16 in that first set, however, many of them off of Grizzly mistakes. Watson now to Clement. And DeFrancesco playing it over the net. It's set to Vehi. Vehi contested at the net, falling on the Georgian side of things. Knights have their first lead of the entire game. They're up 2-1 early in this second set. Jessica Days with the serve. Watson to Clement. DeFrancesco on that left side. Cross-court kill, gets it to go inbounds. All knotted up at 2 here in the second set. Ma's serve, returned. However, double touch called against the Knights. Grizzlies back out on top in the second set, 3-2. Amber Ma to serve again. It's Vehi to Days. Gross playing it over the net. Watson's there. Clement now sets to DeFrancesco on the right side. And that one a little long and out of bounds. And so far for the Grizzlies, they really just need to focus on keeping that ball in play. A lot of serves going long or wide, out of bounds, giving points to the Knights, keeping them around in this game. We're all tied up 3-3 in the second set. However, Brianne Cameron will look to change that. Unable to do so, a little bit wide off of a bad pass. Hit the pole on the net, and another point given to the Knights. Vehi. It's Clement now to Muller, played over. And miss-hit on the Fleming side. It was set to Jessica Days, however, or sorry, that is Selena Roy. Set to Selena Roy, but just missing it, not getting clean contact on it, falling short of the net. Alyssa Muller now to serve for the Grizzlies. Vehi stretching for that and kept alive by Bennett. Gross plays it over. Good scrambling defense by the Knights. On the other side, DeFrancesco trying to get the kill, but it's well defended by the Knights, who play it back over, keep this rally going. Watson just put it up in the air, and Sarah Gross was able to take advantage of that at the net. Sarah Gross to serve. Miss-hitting that one, it goes into the net. Free point for the Grizzlies. Dominica DeFrancesco now serving for Georgian. Sarah Gross. Struck there by Reynolds. Julia Reynolds just missing. Goes out of bounds. Georgian up 6-5 in the second set. Francesco, well struck ball. No return there. Off the arms of Alexis Vehi, out of bounds. It's a good ace for DeFrancesco. Grizzlies now hold the largest lead of the second set, 2-point lead. They're up 7-5. DeFrancesco to serve again. A bullet, but low and into the net. Fleming has been given some freebies throughout tonight, and they got to take advantage of it at some point. Sydney Bennett now to serve. Jenna Gross steps in, plays it to Clement, and now Watson has a chance to get the kill and will do so. Sydney Bennett, an impulsive play there to stick the hand out, off her hand out of bounds. Brianne Cameron now to serve for the Grizzlies, up 8-6. A lift called against Fleming. Easy point for the Grizzlies. Now leading by 3. Brianne Cameron will serve again. Contested at the net by Georgian, but Fleming gets it over. Clement now setting to Watson. It's tipped, and then Aramini trying to play it over. However, a double touch called against the Knights. Grizzlies now stringing together some consecutive points and building themselves a lead here in the second set. They're up 10-6. Brianne Cameron to serve again. Sarah Gross to Roy, and now Clement to Ma, off the net, played by Days. Gross does a good job keeping it alive, but falling to the floor on that Knight side. Georgian gets another point. Brianne Cameron will serve once again. Miss hit on the serve, it goes into the net. Fleming lingering in this set, they're down 4. Cameron plays it, Watson now a little high, off the rafters in the gym, and that gives a point away to Fleming. Fleming trails by 3 in the second set, 11-8. Selena Roy to serve. Good eye by the Grizzlies defense. They let that one sail out of bounds, get a freebie point to themselves. Extend their lead to 4 midway through the second set, and Kelsey Watson will prepare to serve. Roy to Gross. Aramini playing it over. DeFrancesco receives it. Plays it to Clement, who sets it to Ma. Gross is there to receive it. Cameron, Clement to Watson. Watson finding the last inch in that back court. It falls inbounds. Great kill by Kelsey Watson. Watson's serve is up. Roy, diving play by Days keeps it alive, and Fleming plays it over the net. Ma for the Grizzlies floats it over. Now Days sets up Reynolds a little too low. Point awarded to the Grizzlies. Forces Fleming into taking their first time out here in the second set. They'll talk things over. Down 6. They're still in it, but need to make a push here soon. Kelsey Watson to serve. Roy to Days. Far side for Vahey. Blocked to the net by Alyssa Muller. Good job by Alyssa Muller to get a hand on it. Sent the ball back the other way, and unable to handle it was Fleming. 7-point lead here in the second set for the Grizzlies. Kelsey Watson to serve again. Low serve goes into the net. Julia Reynolds with the serve. Just over the net. Well struck. Mishandled by Amber Maw. Point goes Fleming's way. Down 5, Julia Reynolds to serve again. Looking for back-to-back points for her Fleming side. This one's a little low into the net. As much as Fleming has benefited off of some freebies given away by Georgian mistakes, they're also making some errors of their own. Clement serves. Aramini pops it up. Comes back to her and she bumps it over the net. DeFrancesco to Clement to Watson. Watson with a chance for a big kill, blocked at the net. Popped up into the air though. Unable to get it over was Fleming. Georgian takes advantage of that and adds on to their lead. They're up 17-10. Played over by Fleming. Watson to Clement. Back to DeFrancesco. Big kill by Dominica DeFrancesco. Great offensive play by the Grizzlies. Sophia Clement now to serve. Ariane Van Kampen coming in now for the Knights. Clement serve grazes the net and falls to the floor. That's an ace for the Grizzlies. And Sophie Clement now up 19-10. A close call there, but the officials rule it out of bounds. Sophie Clement just missing the sideline on her serving attempt. Fleming down 8, 19-11. Clement keeps the ball alive. Watson bumps it over. Now Days sets up Vahey. Vahey, too much on it. It goes far out of bounds. It's a 2011 lead for the Georgian Grizzlies. Amber Maw preparing to serve. Miscommunication on the Knights side of things, and ball falls to the floor. Grizzlies up 10, looking to close out this second set. They've got 4 points to go. Maw to serve. Bennett plays it over. Clement setting to Cameron. Well hit. Scrambling, but getting it over are the Knights. And now Vahey to Bennett. Days volleys it over. Muller to DeFrancesco. DeFrancesco too much on it. And there's been a few plays throughout the night where Fleming's just not willing to quit. They keep the ball in the air, keep the rally going, and end up getting the point at the end of it all. Good hustle play by the Fleming Knights. They're down 9, 21-12 in the second set. Vahey's serve is up. Off the arms of Muller and out of bounds. Fleming gets back-to-back points. They trail by 8. Alexis Vahey serving once again for the Knights. Maw pops it in the air. Clement now serving far side for Cameron on the tip, blocked. Sarah Gross, good defensive play, not letting that ball get over. And when things are going well for Fleming, usually involves Sarah Gross, who is having a good night for herself in this game. Scrambling to keep it alive, Cameron plays it over. Aramini to Days, to Gross, good tip, good dive by Clement. Sets up DiFrancesco going for the kill. And now Gross going for one of her own. Keeping it alive was Clement. Watson popped it in the air. Cameron played it over. Gross with the tip. Missing it was DiFrancesco, and a good point by Sarah Gross, earning another point for her Fleming squad. Lingering in this second set. Down 6. Vehi to serve. Watson, Clement, DiFrancesco earns the point for the Grizzlies. Alyssa Muller serving for the Grizzlies. Vehi pops that in the air to the other side of things. Watson now with the set to DiFrancesco, and that earns the point for the Grizzlies. Well struck at the net. Alyssa Muller now to serve again, up 23-15. Aramini to Gross. That's played over by Van Kampen. Now Watson trying to set Cameron, unable to do so, a little bit off the mark. It results in 4 touches on the Georgian side. Point goes Fleming's way. Sarah Gross now preparing to serve. Down 7 late in the second set. Need to string together some points. Clement setting DiFrancesco, but just out of bounds. On the outside side of that pole on the net. Points awarded to Fleming. Gross with a line drive serve. Clement now setting to DiFrancesco. Out of bounds. The Knights getting some points together here and keeping it close late in the second set. Gross's serve is up. Cameron pops in the air. Clement now setting to Watson. Watson with the tip. It's kept alive by Bennett. Vehi sets up Van Kampen. Ma to Clement. Far side for Cameron. Vehi keeps it going. Days now setting to Gross. On the other side, Clement serving to Watson. Blocked at the net. Clement has to step in. And now Ma sets up DiFrancesco. Blocked at the net again. And falling to the floor. Good hustle by the Fleming Knights. It's going to force Brad Graham into calling a timeout for Georgian. And there is life for the Fleming Knights here late in the second set, looking to steal one. Georgian calls a timeout. They'll talk things over, looking to regroup late in the second set. Two teams return to the floor. It's Sarah Gross and the Fleming Knights with the ball. Down 4 points, 23-19. Looking to steal one late in the second set. Fleming trails the game 1-0, but giving a point away. Gross a little bit low on that serve.
23-19.
DeFrancesco, a set point for the Grizzlies. Gross to Days. Reynolds tips it over. Clement now setting up Cameron. Well hit, it goes off the net. Now Van Kampen setting up Bennett, who bumps it over. Ma, Clement, Watson, out of bounds. This set keeps going. Fleming down 4. Sydney Bennett with the serve. Still set point for the Grizzlies. Knights will serve. Clement setting up Watson. This could do it, and it does. Good kill. Kelsey Watson ends another set. Puts the Grizzlies up 2-0 on the game. Grizzlies survive a late second set push by the Knights. Come out on top. Grizzlies now lead 2-0 as we prepare for the third.
I couldn't let that one go by.
Yeah.
That's a in the moment one.
Yeah. Yes. Jessica Days and the Fleming Knights with the ball to start things off in the third set. Ball's up over Watson to Clement, now to Cameron. Missing. It's the Knights up 1-0 to start the third set. Ma receives the serve. DeFrancesco will play it over. Finds the far back corner. Well placed by Dominica DeFrancesco. Ties things up at 1 early in the third set. Muller serve. Aramini kept it alive, but Vehi won't be able to do so. Grizzlies back out on top. They're up 2-1 in the third set. Muller serve off the arms of Melissa Aramini. And not going to let this thing get away from them early. Fleming calls a timeout. They'll talk things over. Up 3-1. Muller's serve is up. Off the arms of Vehi. Aramini pops back into the air. Roy plays it over. Now Clement sets up Camarand. Roy does a good job defending, and now Bennett playing it over for the Knights and finding the back corner. Point is awarded to the Knights, now down 3-2. And Alexis Vehi getting ready to serve. Clement will be called for being on the net. Fleming ties things up in the third set now at 3. Alexis Vehi to serve again. Jenna Gross to Clement. Camarand with the tip. Kept alive by Days, and Aramini comes flying, goes under the net, and that'll be a point for Georgian. A good hustle play, but a little too much as she flew over that line. An easy point for Georgian. Did a good job keeping the ball alive. They'll turn the page onto the next point. Dominica DiFrancesco to serve for the Grizzlies. That's off the arms of a Knight and out of bounds. Georgian gets the point. They're up 5-3. Dominica DiFrancesco to serve. There's a line drive serve kept alive by the Knights, and now Clement setting to Watson, who floats it over. Bennett to Gross. Gross plays it over. Clement now setting to Camarand. Camarand trying to get the kill, but a little too much on it. Goes out of bounds. Julia Reynolds checks in for Melissa Aramini. Sarah Gross to serve. Gross denied by the net on that serve. Almost enough to go over, but it popped up and falls on the Fleming side. Georgian gets another point. They're up 6-4 in the third set. Brianne Camarand to serve. Bennett keeps it in play. And Roy does a great job to get that ball over the net. Georgian unable to do so. Points awarded to the Knights. Bennett's serve is up. And Francesco pops it in the air. Gross plays it to Ma, who gets it over the net. Fleming now putting together some offense on their own. Results in a lift by the Grizzlies. Fleming has this knotted up at 6 in the third set. Bennett's serve is over. Watson tries to play it right back off her arms and out of bounds. Fleming out on top 7-6 in the third set. Jenna Gross to Clement to Ma. Great job by Ma getting up and getting that ball over the net. Well struck. Results in a double touch by Fleming and a point awarded to Georgian. Gross to Days. Roy plays it over. Cameron punches it right back over the net. Clement to Ma. Ma with a great strike. Gross keeping it alive. Reynolds trying to keep it in bounds. Just short of the net. It's a point for Georgian. Kelsey Watson serving for the Grizzlies. Off the fingertips of Sarah Gross. Falls to the floor. Georgian gets the point. One of the few miscues by Sarah Gross tonight. She's having a great game. Vehi. Over to Armenian. Gross trying to play it over the net. A little short. Goes into the net. Grizzlies get the point. Kelsey Watson to serve. And that forces Fleming into taking a timeout. Their largest deficit of this third set, 10-7, and they'll talk things over. Kelsey Watson with the ball to serve for Georgian. Up 10-7 in the third set. And that one is a point for the Grizzlies. Went off the arms of Selena Roy and out of bounds. Watson with the serve. Gross keeps it alive. Now scrambling at the net to keep it going. Won't be able to do so. Georgian gets the point. Now extends their lead to 5 midway through the third set. Kelsey Watson to serve once again. Gross, just a little too much on it. It goes out the back. It's a point for the Grizzlies. Watson on a bit of a roll here at the service line, looking to keep it going. Roy plays it over and gets it to stay in bounds. A good play on the Fleming side. And Selena Roy sends herself to the service line. Cameron dove to keep it alive, but misplayed by Clement, trying to tip it over at the net. Fleming gets back-to-back points now. Miss hit at the service line by Selena Roy. Gives the point to the Grizzlies. Clement to serve. Left-handed serve. Now Roy playing it over the net. Some help from the net. It bounces over just onto the Georgian side. Fleming gets the point. Lingering around this third set as they've done through most of the game. Fleming has played hard. Has kept the Grizzlies working for each and every point. They're down only 4 midway through the third set. The Knights are. And the serve is up, however, this one into the net. That's a freebie for the Grizzlies. And when you look at where these two teams are at this point of the year, this is one that Georgian certainly does not want to give up. They're leading 2-0, and with a 5-point lead midway through the third set, a win tonight gets them back to 500, and in hopes of making a playoff push late in the season. Point goes to Fleming on a double touch. So the Knights doing a good job playing hard. They're down 4 in the third set, and although a winless team on the season, they have not quite looked like that tonight. A few errors here and there, but they played strong. Georgian just giving some points here and there as well, as they do so here. Fleming down 3 in the third set. Miscommunication on the Georgian side of things, but Watson clears that up as she plays it over. Bennett now keeps it alive. A diving play by Clement. Ma sets Watson. Roy's there to receive it. Plays it to Days. Back to Roy. Ma bumps it into the air. Clement setting DeFrancesco. A floater over into the open space on the Fleming side. It was a good rally between the two teams, but Grizzlies take advantage of it and get the point. Back up by 4 here in the third set, 16-12. Alyssa Moeller serving. Off Vahey's arms, out of bounds. Moeller with the serve. Aramini playing it right back over. Watson knows what to do with that. It's a good kill by Kelsey Watson, earning another point for Grizzly squad. Lead out to 18-12. Ariane Van Kampen now coming to the game for the Knights. Moeller's serve a little low and into the net. That's just kind of how it's gone tonight. Right when you think the Grizzlies are ready to take over a set, string some points together, they make a mistake and give the ball right back to Fleming. It's been the difference in what could have been a dominant night out here for the Grizzlies. They are winning these sets and have maintained a lead, but just feel like they're leaving points out there on the floor. Cameron doing a good job taking advantage of that play, earning the point for the Grizzlies. Looking to close this match up. They're up 19-13 in the third set. Dominica DeFrancesco to serve. Aramini to Days, popping it in the air for Roy. Roy mishitting it, goes into the net. Francesco with the serve. Results in an ace. Mishandled by the Knights side of things. Logan Langtree coming into the game for the Knights. We get some playing time late in this game here. Down 21-13 in the third set. Roy. Gross earning a point for the Knights. Sarah Gross has been a bright spot for this Fleming Knights team. Second-year player out of Kendall, Ontario. Well struck serve, goes off the arm of Jenna Gross. Out of bounds. Fleming Knights Sarah Gross to serve. A low line drive into the net. Gives a point back to the Grizzlies. They're up 22-15. Brianne Cameron serving. And that one into the net. So back-to-back points given to each other. Two teams exchange points, and now it'll be Sydney Bennett preparing to serve for the Knights. Francesco to Clement. Clement sets Watson, and Watson well struck right at the head of Sarah Gross. She's okay, but a well struck ball, didn't have a whole lot of time to react. She's okay, remains in the game, and that's a good point for the Grizzlies, up 23-16. Gross to Days, over to Roy. The Clement-Muller duo at the net, just not enough for the block. It gets through and gets the point for Fleming. Selena Roy to serve. Up 23-17, the Grizzlies are. Fleming has the serve. Clement to Muller. And Muller right at Sarah Gross again. Off of Gross, out of bounds. Point goes Georgian's way, and it'll be Sophia Clement with the ball. Match point for the Grizzlies. The serve is up. Roy mishandles it, and there you have it. Georgian Grizzlies take this one 3-0. They return to 500 on the year, and they'll hope to stay there. Hoping to get things rolling here in the second half of the season. It was a good win over a winless Fleming Knights team. Tough night for the Knights. Their men's team will take on the Georgian Grizzlies at 8 o'clock. Stay tuned for that one. However, it was a good game here between the two ladies' teams. Ultimately, the Grizzlies coming out on top. Be sure to stay tuned. 8 o'clock, the men's team takes on the Fleming Knights. We'll be here to show you the game. In the meantime, we'll take a short break and see you back at 8 o'clock.